How did a nomadic people from the harsh, windswept steppes of Mongolia build the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen? In the early 13th century, a leader named Genghis Khan united scattered tribes and unleashed a military force that would reshape continents. This is the story of the Mongol Empire, a saga of conquest, innovation, and a world forever changed. Before Genghis Khan, the Mongolian steppe was a fractured landscape of warring tribes and clans. Life was a constant struggle for survival against a brutal environment and against each other. People were nomads, moving with their herds, skilled in horsemanship and archery from a young age. But they were politically divided, caught between powerful neighbors like the Jin dynasty in China and various Turkic groups. It was into this world of chaos that a boy named Temujin was born, a boy who would one day be known as Genghis Khan. Temujin's early life was marked by incredible hardship. His father was poisoned, his family was abandoned by their clan, and he was even captured and enslaved. But these trials forged him into a resilient and brilliant leader. Through a combination of strategic alliances, personal charisma, and ruthless determination, Temujin began to unite the Mongol tribes. He built a following based on merit, not just aristocratic birth. After years of brutal tribal warfare, in 1206 a Grand Assembly, or Kurultai, proclaimed him Genghis Khan, the universal ruler of all the Mongols. The Mongol nation was born. With the tribes united, Genghis Khan turned his ambition outwards. His first major campaign was against the Western Xia kingdom, securing his southern flank. Then, he set his sights on the powerful Jin dynasty in northern China. The Mongols, though outnumbered, were a revolutionary fighting force. Their cavalry was unmatched, their discipline was ironclad, and their strategies were brilliantly innovative. They laid siege to massive walled cities, learning and adapting engineering techniques from captured experts. Soon, the Jin dynasty was on its knees. From there, Genghis Khan looked west. The Mongol military was the engine of its expansion. Every man was a soldier, a highly skilled horse archer trained from childhood. They could ride for days, sleeping in the saddle and living off the land. Their primary weapon was the powerful composite bow, which they could fire with deadly accuracy while galloping at full speed. Mongol strategy was based on speed, deception, and overwhelming force. They used feigned retreats to lure enemies into traps, employed sophisticated spy networks to gather intelligence, and coordinated massive armies across vast distances using a system of smoke, signals, and messengers. Their tactics were so effective that they often won battles before they even began, as their reputation for swift, brutal conquest often caused cities to surrender without a fight. After Genghis Khan's death in 1227, his sons and grandsons continued the expansion. His son Gedai was elected the new Great Khan and established a permanent capital at Karakoram. Under his rule, the Mongols completed the conquest of the Jin dynasty and pushed deep into Russia. Smashing the armies of Kiev and Rus, his successors, like Mungi and Kublai, pushed the empire's borders even further. At its peak, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Danube River. From Siberia down to the Persian Gulf, it was a colossal territory ruling over a quarter of the world's population. It was an empire forged in the saddle, spanning climates from frozen tundras to scorching deserts. Governing such a vast and diverse empire was a monumental challenge. The Mongols were pragmatic rulers. Instead of imposing their own culture, they often adopted the administrative systems of the lands they conquered. They established a sophisticated postal relay system called the Yam, which allowed for rapid communication and travel across the empire. Messengers carrying an imperial seal could get fresh horses, food, and lodging at stations placed about every 25 to 30 miles. This network was the backbone of Mongol control, enabling them to manage their sprawling domain effectively. They also created a universal law code, the Yasa, which established rules for property, military, service, and social behavior, creating a sense of order and unity. One of the most significant consequences of Mongol rule was the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace. For roughly a century, the Mongol-controlled territories enjoyed a period of relative stability and security. This peace allowed for an unprecedented flourishing of trade and cultural exchange along the Silk Road. For the first time, goods, ideas, technologies, and even religions could travel safely from China to Europe. Gunpowder, the compass, and printing technology moved west, while Western science, medicine, and art flowed east. The famous Venetian merchant, Marco Polo, journeyed all the way to the court of Kublai Khan and brought back incredible tales of the East, firing the imagination of Europe. But no empire lasts forever. The sheer size of the Mongol Empire made it difficult to govern from a single center. After the death of Genghis Khan in 1259, civil wars erupted between Genghis Khan's descendants over the succession. The empire began to fracture into four major successor states or khanates: the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Yuan dynasty in China, founded by Kublai Khan. While these khanates remained powerful for a time, they eventually adopted the local cultures, lost their Mongol identity, and one by one, they fell. The Black Death, which may have spread along the Mongol trade routes, also devastated populations and destabilized the khanates. The legacy of the Mongol Empire is complex and profound. On one hand, their conquests were incredibly destructive, resulting in the deaths of millions and the razing of ancient cities. On the other hand, they unified a vast portion of the globe, creating a bridge between East and West that had never existed before. They were not just destroyers. They were builders and administrators. They fostered trade, promoted religious tolerance, and inadvertently set the stage for the modern world by connecting disparate civilizations. Their military strategies are still studied today, and their impact on the political map of Eurasia is still visible. From a divided land of nomadic tribes to the largest empire in history, the story of the Mongols is a testament to the power of leadership, organization, and relentless will. Genghis Khan and his descendants didn't just conquer the world. They connected it. They left behind a legacy of both terror and transformation, a legacy that proves how a small group of people, from one of the most remote corners of the earth, could ride out and change the course of human history forever. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into the Mongol Empire fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments what historical topic you'd like to see next.